Hi everyone, welcome to Torah on Demand. I'm Rabbi Yael Ridberg. Of the 5 books of the Torah, it's a safe assumption that contemporary Jews find the book of Leviticus to be the least engaging, of little interest to their daily lives, and even arcane and alienating. Often considered an operating manual for the priests to execute a complex and finely drawn ritual system in pursuit of communal holiness, procedure is independent of content in the book, and the routine and the procedure are held up over reason and rationale. The sacrificial system as a whole is outlined this week in Parashat Tzav and required the entire being in actualizing the sacrifices. To bring an olah, a free will offering, was a spontaneous expression of appreciation. A mincha offering of flour, oil, and incense was accessible to even the poorest in the community. Shlamim was a peace offering shared by those who brought it, and the chatat and asham offerings were meant to cover unintentional sins and conscious abuses, thereby providing a means to come to terms with guilt, expiation, and forgiveness individually and as a community. These many rules were transformed following the destruction of the Second Temple in 70 CE into an equally elaborate set of prayer practices for the people. According to the mystical text of the Zohar, a person's sacrifice depends on the heart and the inner desire. Offerings must be undertaken with the fullness of intention, visceral interactions, and sacred expressions of the human heart. Of all the categories, the guilt offering is perhaps the most accessible to our modern understanding. The text lays out a process by which guilt feelings are transformed into actions that have the potential to bring healing. The asham, the guilt offering, was straightforward. A person who suspected or knew he or she was guilty of wrongdoing, whether by omission or commission, would bring a ram without blemish to the priest at the altar. Sections of the animal were burnt and turned into smoke, while others provided a meal for the priests. The public ritual would then lead to absolution. Such a public display of guilt may challenge our modern sensibilities, but rather than worry in isolation about acts committed or omitted, the ritual provided a chance for the person to recognize their wrongdoing, and the community would share in the understanding of contrition. Instead of internalizing guilt and angst, the guilt offering enabled the offender and the community to be rid of the offending act while appreciating the ritual cleansing that took place. In our day, we look around the world and see so many problems that sometimes make us turn a blind eye to what ails our local neighborhoods or global body politic. We internalize our guilt and throw up our hands as if there's nothing we can do. The model of the asham offering encourages us to find ways to transform our internalized guilt into communal acts of kindness, of justice, and equality. Such offerings that can transform anxiety into action, despair into hope. Shabbat Shalom. Thanks for joining me. See you next time.